Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Magic players, wherever you are around the world, and welcome to the first episode of the HEDRON.TV podcast. My name is Manuel, I'm your host here on the show, and this time I'm joined for the first episode by Pro Tour player Joshua Bausch from Team Phoenix New Dawn. How are you doing today, Joshua?
I'm fine, very good, thank you.
Excellent, good. Back from the States, right?
Yes.
So
finally back.
Finally back, yeah, you stayed there a bit longer, you enjoyed. Pretty good. No jet lag anymore, right? You're not gonna fall asleep during the show.
I was right after I needed to come back. I have to started working.
Okay.
So
duty called.
Yes, the duty called, and so I was like needed to switch as fast as possible, and I managed.
Nice. Okay, pretty good. So Pro Tour Guilds of Ravnica. You were there. The whole Team Phoenix New Dawn was there.
Yes.
And your result, your personal score was 871.
Yes.
Considering that we're talking about Pro Tour level, it's not that bad in the end, I would say.
It's the best personal record for me in the Pro Tour. I played 2 individuals before and didn't make day 2 before. So this was my first day 2ing, even if it was close again. And I played the Team Pro Tour the last before this one.
Yeah,
was the Team Pro Tour, and we had a better team score in the end. But that was my first individual day 2. And
because Jasper Grimmer and Marius Heuser from your team also were there in day 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Jasper Grimmer 10-6 and Marius Heuser 9-7, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
So they made Jasper didn't cash. Normally you cash with 10-6 at the Pro Tour, but always the first Pro Tour is the biggest Pro Tour of all, and we're like more than 500 people.
Okay.
So getting into top 64 was a hard fight, and with a very bad breakers from our side, we didn't have a chance.
Okay, a bit unfortunate there.
Yes.
Okay,
so
but still.
They made extra pro points.
Yeah.
I was in the last 3 rounds fighting for green, white, then money, and then more pro points, but we'll talk about that more.
Okay, but anyway, overall I would think is, I think it's a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah,
and it's the 4th Pro Tour you attended, right?
Yes, I'm happy with the achievement. It's not everything. Yeah, many people are disappointed or stuff when they didn't finish well, but I think if you go step by step, like I did when I started Magic, first was making day 2, then making a money finish, and then making a top 8 of a GP. If you do it step by step, even staying on the Pro Tour is harder than playing on a GP level.
Sure.
Yeah, you should just don't overextend. If you have a lucky tournament, some people playing their first tournament for Pro Tour and have the time of their life because they're making the top 8 or finishing the top 16, then you played a very good tournament. But I'm always looking forward to maintain my level of play, and when I try to improve, I will try to stay that way. Sure, sometimes you have a very bad day and finish very second to last or so.
Sure,
but
it can happen.
If you have a constantly finish in the same way and improve that by time to time, I get.
Yeah, you can have a lucky shot, but keeping the level high is another story.
Yes.
And when we talk about the Pro Tour, we're talking about every
the
single
highest level.
Yeah, sure. Every single round is a feature match,
Yes, exactly. When you play at the Pro Tour, when you don't know the guy, you think you were lucky because I played 16 rounds, and I think 12 of that rounds I knew my opponent because either they won the Pro Tour, either they played very well at the Pro Tour level or won a GP or so. But you can't. You're always happy when you don't see a familiar face, because then they might just spike the RPDQ or so.
Yeah. Okay, I understand the point of view, absolutely. Okay, so I was rooting, of course, for you guys here at home watching the stream and everything, and you went on camera in the end, Joshua. I never had a chance to see you or any of the others of Team Phoenix New Dawn. But was like following, Windsor's website and the score, and you and also I would say almost everybody in the team went pretty well in the draft portion of the PT. I mean, in your case, you were technically undefeated.
Yes, I had one draw in the very first round of the
Yeah.
tournament. Very unfortunate. He was a nice guy, and I wouldn't concede it in his spot as well. But if we would have had one more minute, or I don't know, just one more turn, even would be enough, because I was so ahead that he couldn't win anymore. He was like just the last 3 turns of the game was just fighting to survive and doing everything. And in the end, he top decked in his last draw step a removal spell for my creature, so I couldn't finish the game, even
Okay.
though I had like many cards in my deck that win still on the spot.
Okay.
But
That was decided by time in the end.
yeah, that's if he just drew a chump blocker, I had a removal spell for it, but I couldn't defeat his 6/6 flying creature. So
Can happen.
Yeah.
It's magic.
yeah, we
Okay.
went with the draw. I
Yeah.
asked him to concede, but I wouldn't concede either because he played for the draw. But sometimes the draw is like a loss. So
Okay. Okay. Well, but still, one draw, the rest you won, and so basically 2-0-1 in the draft portion of day one, and 3-0 in the draft portion of day two.
exactly.
That was pretty cool. So you guys actually, as a team, prepared for the draft quite a lot, because all of you went down pretty well in the end.
Yeah, at first we all individual drafted. So we were the set came out on Magic Online and everyone started drafting, because when the Pro Tour is late, you want to get a feel for the draft format. Everything will be solved by the time the Pro Tour will arrive, but you want to play with the cards, want to see what suits you best, or what cards are overpowered. Maybe find a sleeper archetype, like some teams did back in the days with like a Slither Blade and put an enchantment of attack in the Amonkhet format.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, we didn't find anything. We had some preferences, and we agreed on having a discussion when we are all in the Pro Tour, because we will stay at the house for a week, and we are always every day we were meeting up, playing games, playing Constructed, drafting. And
Okay. So that was like the core of your testing session. You were
Yes.
there already in the States. You had this apartment, and you would just test.
Before we had all Drafter Magic Online, we had a spreadsheet with all the 3-0 decks. All we did well. We discussed. We had the online forum on Discord. It's a program we can talk with each other, or can make a thread and post something. And so we talked a lot and discussed a lot. In the end, was the most helpful thing, the meeting up and going card by card, or discussing with some very good limited player. We had, for example, we have Nico Boni. He's one of the earlier pros, winning a lot of tournaments, winning world championships, and he's a very good limited expert. And yeah, we talked a lot with him and discussed a lot of stuff, and in the end, it helped.
Excellent. So big thank you to Nico
Yeah.
Boni then.
Yes.
All right, pretty good. Let's talk about the drafting day one. So first version of day one, there is the Pro Tour, the draft section. Your pod. Who was there with you, and how did it go with the archetype choice, the colors? What was open, what was not? What happened there?
Actually, my first day one pod there was no really known players. It's just some semi-known guys from the GP circuit, but no well-known Pro Tour.
No
establishments.
celebrities.
Yes, no celebrities.
Okay. So all people like you, more or less.
Yes. So I was sitting
I
there.
don't want
like,
to, I don't want to diminish you, but you're not a celebrity yet.
Yes, exactly. I was sitting down, was like feeling, oh, nice, no pressure at all, because my previous Pro Tour drafts went horribly. So I had like my winning record, the prior drafts were 1-5. So I was not winning a lot. So, but with this card draft, I felt confident. And while opening my first pack, I had a very strong pack right before me. I had like, I think my uncommons, if I remember correctly, were not that good. But I had like every playable come in there, like for every archetype, the Allegiance, Sky Lieutenant, the Darkblade Agent, like I think Deadly Visit. So there was like a lot of very good commons. But my rare was Imara.
Okay.
Yeah, the Solar Accord.
Yeah.
And I got a quiet liking for Selesnya, because I knew green was not a popular color. and I always felt like these cards are going late or are very undervalued. So I took the risk and took the rare, but I still think it was the best card in the pack. Even if you want to be, everyone wants to be in Dimir or wants to play Izzet because you have all these card draw mechanics and finding all your spells. But I like creatures, I like green, so just went with that. And I got immediately, I got immediately a present from my right. So
okay.
yeah, I was like, that was my pack 1, pick 1, and so we got to pack 1, pick 2, and I got a pack with it was like my signature card at that Pro Tour. It was Dawn of Hope.
Okay. The enchantment, right?
The enchantment.
Yeah.
There was an uncommon missing from the pack, so I figured there was like a black removal spell or something like this, or maybe Night Veil Predator. So some blackish card, I would say, because everyone wanted to be Dimir or force it kinda into the Dimir. But I think Dawn of Hope is one of the best bombs in this format because every time it is slow, I agree on that, but every time it sticks and you start drawing cards, you have a lot of mana, it wins the game on its own.
Okay, so if it stays on the battlefield,
yes,
okay,
yes, then
leads you to victory.
Leads me to victory, exactly. And so some cards come well with that. So you have the Centaur Peacemaker, that's a 3/3 for 3. When it's in the battlefield, both players gain 4 life. So now this card can get a 5-drop. If you play it on turn 5, you gain 4 life, draw a card with it. So a 5 mana, gain 4 life, draw a card. With a 3/3 body, you would always play.
Sure.
So the comments got a lot better with just this rare, with these 2 rares, because these are 2 very powerful cards.
Did you think that Selesnya was open as soon as you actually saw Dawn of Hope?
No, of course not, because it was like two picks.
Too early, okay.
But then, in the flow of the draft, I can't remember all the packs.
Sure.
They were coming there, or like the Selesnya cards. I passed the multicolor cards to my left, and they were coming back. So after the first wheel, I knew Selesnya was open.
Okay.
Because no one wanted to play these cards.
Okay.
So I cut it white pretty hard to my left, so that I don't want to see my left sitting partner into Boros, for example. If you pick the red card, if you don't see any white cards, then you don't go in this direction. So if he picks red, he hopefully picks Izzet. And I knew that the guy on my right is not white, and normally not blue, not green, because everyone hates green. So I think I was in a pretty good spot at that draft.
Okay. So you were well positioned, and you already understood how to maneuver and get what you needed for the deck.
Yes, and then I think I got very lucky with my rares openings. And booster 2, after the first booster went very well, I had like 12 playables in that archetype. I opened my second booster, and I opened a Beast Whisperer. It's a green rare. 4 mana, 2/3, and when you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. So that was like one of the perfect cards for me. So just slammed it in my deck.
Sure.
And then I got passed for my left Divine Visitation. It's a 5 mana mythic enchantment. Every time you do, you get a token. You get a 4/4 Vigilant Angel instead. So I was like, okay, I think I will take this card. I already have Dawn of Hope, and I already have Amara. So there can still be many other. Hunted Witness, for example, is a card I want to prioritize now, because when I play this, when it dies, I can sometimes get an angel out of it. Or there is Selesnya uncommon, the 3 mana Ledef champion, that for 5 mana makes token as well. So I hope now, with this early in the draft, I can prioritize these cards and pick these up, that this card can be absolutely good. I picked it, and at the flow of the draft, again, Selesnya was not taken away from me. I got every Selesnya card I wanted. I could choose.
Did you feel like you took a little risk with that choice, or it wasn't really?
I think with
you
the
could
first,
afford doing it.
With the first 2 rares, I think the first 2 rares I picked, Amara and Dawn of Hope.
Yeah,
they're very, very strong cards, and with these cards in my deck, I have a very good shot of winning.
Okay.
Even though at my whole draft I didn't saw any Rosemane Centaur. It's like the card you wanted the most in this archetype, but I don't think that anyone picked them, but I only think that there was no
Okay,
card
there were
in the
no
draft.
around.
Sometimes this happens in a draft.
Yeah.
that some commons or some more it happens more with uncommons or rares.
Sure.
Because
Sure.
these cards get less open. But sometimes happen with commons as well, that a specific common did open in like all the 24 boosters that are around. And so it was with the Centaur. So I had like my deck based around my rares I got from all the packs. And drafted a synergistic creature heavy deck. With I think it was well suited. And
It proved to be, because in
it
the
proved to
end,
be.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just drew in the first round, and the next 2 rounds I won quite easily against a Bulgari player and an Izzet player.
Okay.
The Izzet player even had left Mizzet in his deck, but my 3 Crawl Harpooner were waiting for him.
Okay. Okay, really good. And in the second day, you drafted the same archetype, more or less. Am I correct?
Yes,
But not the same deck.
exactly.
This time you saw different cards.
Exactly. This time I saw different cards.
So
But-
who were in the pod with this time?
this
in
time
day
I
two?
had like the celebrities of the celebrities. I was like, okay. I looked at the standing after day 1. You can always count down your pot you are in the
Yeah.
next day, going divided by 8. And I had in my pot Kenta Arane, who was playing in standard on day 1. Corey Baumeister, Li Shitian
Yeah.
got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, true,
at this,
true, absolutely.
this weekend.
Congratulations to him, by the way.
Exactly. And I had Elliot Brousseau,
Yeah.
a French, very good GP grinder. It was these 4. I was like, sitting there, okay, that's getting kind of tough. So I hope I can manage a 2-1, then I'm happy. But I opened my first pack again and saw my signature card, Dawn of Hope. I was like, yes.
So you saw that card, it was like, it worked out yesterday.
Yes.
Why not trying it again?
Yes, exactly. I had 2 very good black cards in the pack. I had the Price of Fame, that's 4 mana instant black removal. And I had Deadly Visit, the common 5 mana black removal. So I had 2 very good black cards. And I think if I take the white card, the 2 left guys will take the black cards. So I think so. There I go out of my direction, and booster 2 will go quite well if I pass more black. And I had a very tough choice, and I discussed with everyone in this draft. I picked one.
So you
Dawn of
discussed about this draft afterwards.
and
I understand.
my pick 3.
Yeah.
Second pick, I drafted the Conclave Tribunal. That's the 4 mana enchantment with Convoke,
Yeah.
the removal spell. And then I had on pack 1, pick 3, the choice between the Roseman Centaur and the Boros Guild Mage. And I decided for the Centaur because I think this card is better with the Dawn of Hope, and it's a free spell kinda. It's outclassed many cards. That's why I made this pick. If Selesnya is open, I got just the best common for this archetype, and if not, I'm a little bit sad that I just let the Boros Guild Mage go, but I think it's not needed in that archetype. It's just a bonus to have it. So
Okay.
I
So you
made-
felt you could actually afford doing that choice, and
yes,
in case it didn't go well, you could still go back
to
and
back to
find
Boros.
other. Yeah, I couldn't
Yes.
find other cards. But in the end, you stayed on Selesnya.
Yes, I opened then the Fiending Glarion, which I took because in the Selesnya archetype, I had by that time, this was second booster, by the time I had like 2 Roseman or 3 Roseman Centaur because I picked him very highly.
Mm-hmm.
And these are 4 toughness creatures, and having a 3 mana deal 3 damage to everyone,
Sure.
and even gaining life out of my 4 toughness creatures when they attack afterwards, it's like a huge deal. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one-sided board wraths.
Yeah. It's
So-
like you play the sweeper, and then you just attack with your creatures. Even if it's just one creature, one center, you
Yes.
gain 4 life.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a huge swing, you know.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like in the previous draft before, I saw that every Selesnya card tabled again. These times I saw 6 Roseman Centaur, and picked them. In the end, I didn't play
So
anymore.
they were all in day
Yeah,
two. There was none in day one. In
Yes,
day two, you
they
had
were all
the
in
centers.
day two. I was like, okay, now I get them.
Yeah.
But even in the end, I got all past even the rares. I got past Imara, the solar cord again. So no one wanted to be Selesnya, and my deck for day two was more creature centric. With even picked up the Swashcutter Giant. It's so I splashed that red for
for 2 cards.
for
For
two
Deafening
cards.
Clarion and
The Giant.
Swashcutter Giant, yeah.
So even the Swashcutter Giant is a very good combination with the Clarion, because if you have him out and you board wipe, and if they have a 4 toughness creature, you attack with the Giant, and
Sure,
it also dies.
sure.
So it was more going mid-rangey strategy instead of the late game strategy that my day one deck had with the Divine Visitation. And yeah, it worked out quite well. I just lost 1 game on the second draft, and it was against Kenta Arana, who had the combo of the worm, the 6/4 worm that can only be blocked by 1 creature, and and the 4 mana target creature against menace, and plus X plus O.
Sure, so it was unblockable in
Yeah,
the end.
it was unblockable, and so he just swinged for, I don't know, was like 10 or 11, and stole a game like that of me.
Sure.
So-
Effective enough, I would say.
Yes. I think I was in a winning position, and like this, it was his only out. I was like, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, this draft worked out pretty well then.
Yeah, and definitely. I mean, this one in day 2, you were 3-0, so you
Exactly.
lost just 1 game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why if you open the right tools and know how to build a deck,
Yeah.
yeah, as I mentioned, you don't want to have any seed rooms or other big convoke stuff. You just want to have Roseman Centaurs, because this is the best creature in the archetype. And if you have 4 or 5, yeah, they're basically 4/4 for 2 or 3 mana. Even if you want to have an aggro-ish base deck, the body is mostly relevant, because you can combine it with Prey Upon, playing a 3 mana 4/4 and then fighting something
Sure.
on the same turn.
Sure.
Makes a huge tempo swing.
Sure. Definitely. You gain quite an advantage there.
Yes.
Yeah. Last question before we close this first episode of the podcast. Why do you think Selesnya was not drawing any attention? Why do you think it was open in both drafts?
Because everyone hates green. Green has the undergrowth mechanic for the Golgari archetype,
Okay.
and it was kind of underwhelming. Like
Okay.
having a lot of creatures in the graveyard, it was kind of hard to manage. And then these payoffs were not that great. You just gain life. Then and they were kind of expensive, like the worm, the sex
Yeah,
for worm
yeah,
was
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
The only cheap creature, the payoff creature, was the 2/3 that gets menace and plus X plus O. The effect is fine, but it's like the body is bad, and the effect is like just enter the battlefield and just disappears at the end of turn. So there was no real good, overwhelming common cards in green. So everybody wanted to just stay away from it. And
Okay. In playing white, but in combination with red, for instance, for Boros,
yes,
rather than going white-green.
yes. So, and I think many people underestimated the Centaur, because I think the stats are well suited in the format, because 4/4 everything has 3 toughness or 3 power, and nothing is stronger than or nothing at 4 toughness, or there's some exception cards like the Mooming Mystic gets 5 toughness, but in the end there's like nothing that's really blocks well or trades well. There's one, the Dozer of Light, I think. It's a 5 mana 4/5 in black. That's like the worst enemy of this archetype.
Okay.
But you can manage with +3/+3 or +2/+2 tricks there.
Sure. You can fight your way through.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's the only problem card I would say in the common slot, but then every class outclass every creature that's in the format. And yeah, if you have multiples, fight with the recently played one, and then at some point have Flower Flourish. That's the uncommon lit card for the archetype. Like overwhelm them with Overrun,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay,
they can't
yeah.
manage anymore.
Yeah, sure. Then you just can even go for a huge single attack.
Yes.
Yeah, close the game there. Okay, time to wrap this episode up because we could go forever, but it has to end at a certain point. Okay, so thank you very much, Joshua, for joining me here.
Thank you very much as well.
Very welcome, absolutely. And you're coming back for more episodes, that's for sure. And of course, a big thank you to all our viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for staying with us, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section below on YouTube. If you want to follow us on social media, you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/HEDRON.TV, or you can send a tweet at HEDRON.TV, because we are on Twitter as well, and Joshua is on Twitter as well. So if you want to ask him something about what we discussed here today, just hit @ValorJ90, because that's your username, right?
Exactly.
Okay, fantastic. So you can reach Joshua as well. Last but not least, stay tuned on HEDRON.TV for more content to come. And for now, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.